hey there, welcome back. Well, as you can see, we're still at the old Spectacle Island that, well, let's just say I've been here for a few days and made a few improvements. I've got the twins here. One young lady running a guard post over here. The other one running a little security desk where visitors have to turn in all their weapons before visiting the island. And as you can see by the boats, there's already a bit of a brisk trade. Why? Well, we'll get to that in a moment. There's my provisioner heading back out. He runs back and forth between the Warwick homestead and the castle to here. And, well, while he makes his trip, he ferries passengers who come, well, partially for the shopping. We've got a little general trader slash gift shop here. He does reasonably well. We've got a clothing person who's,
Hope
well,
you're one of them synths here to spy on me.
no, I'm General of the Minutemen doing a tour. She does a pretty decent trade in clothing. A lot of people come out here want nice new outfits. They are coming to spend money, after all. We've got ourselves a doctor. She is, well, she's a child of Adam. A very proud one, although she's kind of given up part of the way.
Let's get a look at you.
Oh, I'm okay.
Not now.
Let me know if that...
Yeah, she got exposed to enough radiation that she kind of turned into a ghoul, and you know the children of Adam really respect that. So she saw that as a sign to head out in the world. So she's running her own little sort of trading stand slash medical practice here. So yeah, we welcome her quite well. She lives a very modest life. She just has a room with a bed and a couple little candles and things around, and that's actually it, even though she makes decent money. So, but yeah, she got a pretty nice little surgery here. And as you can see, we didn't actually rebuild the building as much as, well, just made use of what was still sort of intact. We've got a little bar slash restaurant here set up. Not much to it. He pretty much just sells, soup and whiskey. I think he even uses whiskey in the soup. But, he makes a brisk trade too. It is right next to the docks, one of the first places everybody stops.
Out here, you gotta take things one day at a time.
Yeah, especially on this island. He runs, I guess you would say, our little hotel here. It just consists of 3 beds for rent, but even though we have a brisk trade, a lot of them don't stay overnight, and the few that do just stay for a night or so. But he's got his own residence up here. I mean, he actually does quite well for himself, just like the general trader does. Even got himself a little weight bench set up out here. But yeah, he runs his own little hotel, and
If you work, you eat. It's as simple as that.
yeah, and he actually, does pretty well for himself over here. If we go around back here, we've got another little residence here. This is where my general trader lives. He's sort of just moved in, so he hasn't really done a whole lot with the place, but he's got decent space and nice and safe and usable. It's one of the more prime residences in the area, and so he does pretty well for himself. Now the generator, believe it or not, is actually maintained by the young lady who does the clothing. She is, a relatively decent mechanic, believe it or not. I mean, she keeps her sewing machines running. And, yeah, she helps keep the generator running along with a couple of my mechanics that I'll get to in a moment. But, yeah, she does all the sort of, routine day-to-day maintenance on it. And, yeah, she has her own little place up here as well. Again, very sparse. She's just moving in as well, so I'm sure they'll fix the place up as they get around to it. Over here, well, believe it or not, some of the people that come to visit are, well, they're ghouls. In fact, we've already had Billy and his family from Quincy bring a boat up, and it never even dawned on me, but the ghouls don't mind the radiation at all, so they have a pretty fun time swimming. And, I've gotten to the point where I myself kind of enjoy swimming. I find it invigorating. The radiation doesn't seem to bother me. I hate to say it, but I might be kind of turning into a bit of a ghoul myself. But, yeah, they do pretty well, although a Mirelurk did kind of get a little testy and decided he wanted to make a run for Timmy. Tried to break through the fence, but of course our lifeguard, who, well, I mean, he'll save you if you're drowning, but his lifeguard duties is more of shooting any Mirelurks who try to come up. But yeah, he's actually doing pretty decent business. And he's also doing little boat rentals. Believe it or not, they've had a couple of people come up, rent boats just to sort of paddle around on the water and, enjoy a little sun. We got some picnic areas and some lounge areas here, and people, believe it or not, make use of it. And I'm quite proud of them coming up with that idea. I would have never thought of actually putting in a swimming area. We do have, well, some farmers who came in. They're kind of keeping us fed. They were able to piece together a, well, pretty respectable shack here. 4 of them went in on it. It's actually 2 couples. And, yeah, they're doing pretty decent. Their place is, again, kind of bare, but considering they've only been here a few days, and they've been able to get so much going already. Here's one of the young ladies. There's one of the gentlemen there. Oh, there's one, and there's the 4th one. And yeah, they've got potatoes, corn, mood fruit, and even some razor grain going. So yeah, they're doing pretty good. Set themselves up a little windmill, and they've got a water pump even going up here. So they're providing most of the fresh water to, well, all of the surrounding area. They're doing quite nice for themselves. Now, the sisters who are doing the guard shack, well, they actually, believe it or not, live over here in this little shack that is nothing but a bed and a couch for them to sleep on. But they do spend all their time over there on the front. And I'm sure they'll be upgrading here before too long, because they're being paid pretty well to keep the place guarded. Yeah, this is a bit interesting. This young lady, who, as you could tell, her accommodations are a little on the raggedy side. She's not very good at carpentry at all. But she is an amazing mechanic. Yeah, we got rabbits all over the place. Some of the people brought rabbits and chickens in, and there's, the chickens are doing okay. We got a good supply of eggs out of it, but the rabbits have been breeding like crazy, so they are all over this island. And yeah, we're probably going to end up having to do some rabbit hunting to keep these guys under control. But yeah, this young lady is an excellent mechanic, and believe it or not, one of the reasons why her structure is so poor is because she has spent every dime of her life savings, well, kind of buying a sizable chunk of the island because she's gotten several of these old motorcycles up and running, and the main attraction here on the island is she runs daily motocross rallies. Hi there. She got herself a nice little track set up, which again is infested with rabbits, same as the rest of the island. But she got herself a pretty nice little... It's got all these different little loops and turns and places you have to kind of run around all over. It makes an entire huge maze of a track. I don't know how they even keep up with it, but they do. And pretty nice long straightaways, and they do a lot of loops around areas and stuff. A lot of things are kind of marked with these flags, but yeah, we even got some bleachers set up around, and this is like the main entertainment. They come out here, run these races. A lot of people do betting. She'll even rent out the bikes to people who want to give it a try on their own. It's a little bit on the expensive side, but you know, considering the risk of them wrecking the bikes, I guess that's kind of a fair trade. And for most of these people, any type of motor vehicle is so extremely rare that they'll spend major money just for a chance. And yeah, the whole thing kind of loops around and twists and turns all over the place, and you start here and finish here. But she's got another very interesting business. I mean, between this and some of the other little amenities and things that are popping up out here, these guys are getting pretty interesting with their creativity. They've started some pretty awesome businesses. Here is another one. This young lady and her husband and her daughter, who's got, I guess you would call that a room, they built this little shack here, and these guys came with nothing. I mean, absolutely nothing hardly to their name. They could not afford to buy any land, couldn't afford to get started in any way really whatsoever. And almost as a joke, one of the guys who, well, purchased this land right when we first opened it up, jokingly sold them, well, a rock sticking out of the water for one cap. And well, they bought it and they built on it. And now they're starting up. They don't have any yet, at least not any larger ones. They have a few babies that are down in the water, but these guys are starting a crab farm. That's right. These guys are going to purposefully raise mirelurks for food, even though we have a signal generator that kind of drives them crazy. But their idea is they think that raising them from hatchlings, they'll be used to it, and we'll end up with sort of a domesticated breed of mirelurks, which again is kind of creative. But yeah, like I said, though, they decided to come out and build on the rock, and that they did. Yeah, their daughter has a thing for ship watching. She still swears she keeps seeing pirate ships out there, but yeah, I really don't think this is a big risk, to be honest. But hey, it's a hobby, I guess. But, they actually built themselves a bit of a shack, eventually expanded. People were kind of impressed. Oh, there she is there. Keeping an eye out for the wild mirelurks, are you? People were so impressed, they actually decided to sell them, well, a couple of more rocks for a cap each, and they upgraded even more. So now we have a couple little sheds built out here, very precariously perched on some rocks. And, well, as you can see, it's kind of a series of unfortunate events waiting to happen here. Eventually that is going to collapse, but now it's just worker housing. They're hoping to get, oh yeah, more chickens. They're hoping to get people in to help them raise the mirelurks. It's going to be quite a bit of work. Well, they finally upgraded themselves to, well, a pretty decent little house out here now. And, yeah, they've brought in a lot of supplies. Apparently, mirelurk shells are pretty valuable. So, yeah, they're capturing mirelurks in order to dry and save their shells. But, yeah, I guess a business is a business, and you do what you gotta do. Yeah, we've got a Brahmin. And, this little guy here, along with the gentleman brought the chickens up, he's maintaining our mirelurk signal generator. And he's also one of our Minutemen representatives. So he runs the radio recruitment beacon, helps get people in, maintains the signal that keeps the mirelurks away, and, well, he has himself a Brahmin and some chickens. So he's doing a pretty decent little business in milk and eggs, and I guess that's how he sort of makes his money on the side. We do have an old bunker that I completely missed on this side. However, we've got ourselves a weapons shop here. He does an okay trade. Not so much in sales as, believe it or not, he rents weapons because he runs a shooting range. Which, he's got a place you can sort of sit down with a rifle, stand and fire pistols, and he even has a spotting scope over here so that people can keep track of hits and misses, which, it's pretty nice and all. However, I'd like to point out that our Minuteman who maintains the signal, his cow, chickens, everything is kind of right up at the top of the hill. So needless to say, he and this guy don't really get along very well because, yeah, occasionally there are stray bullets, and hopefully I'm not going to lose my Minuteman guy to some half-drunk guy out here deciding to want to try out a Tommy gun for the first time. But he does pretty well with his business. He is in I guess you would say, a cooperative venture with our armor. She's around here somewhere. She does a decent business selling armor, but one of the main things is, in addition to armor, she's also sort of our general junk dealer and scrapper. She can fabricate pretty much anything anyone needs, And she, well, buys a lot of stuff. In fact, a lot of the people that first came here, what they found they could and could not use, or once they found out what they could and could not use, they, used what they could, and, well, they pretty much sold her everything else. She bought a decent amount of land here, but she had quite a bit of caps left over, so she got herself a good little house built. And she's just been piling up the stuff. And as you can see, she's already been cracking into some of the heavier steel here, building some of the things that a lot of the people around here have needed to order. She's fabricated quite a few of the parts for the young lady running the racetrack to help keep her bikes running. But, yeah, I guess that's her little setup. We did set up a few machine gun turrets here and there. I mean, almost everybody that showed up here brought one. We ended up with extras around, so I think there's a few piled up in storage. We don't even need that many out here. Every person here is kind of armed to the teeth, so it's not much of a problem. Since we have quite a few of the people here relying on the power from this place, not everybody, but a couple of these shops are, we didn't really want to risk losing that signal again, so we did a few improvements. We got better wiring set up, got everything raised up a little bit higher, a little bit safer, a little more steady. We put in some actual pylons instead of running in between the trees. We don't want to risk this shorting out again and losing everybody to a massive Mirelurk influx, so we did some improvements. Stabilize this place a little bit more. Got the ship propped up a little bit more. It's not going to sink any more than it is. As you can see, put in a much better bridge than the crappy boards that were there. We didn't want any Mirelurks getting in here to the generators, so we did wall it off on both sides. And but since we lost the ladders in the back, we had to build a new one up here in the front. And then we blocked off all the stairways so that, well, not really anything can get up here. We don't have anything up here on the top levels to protect, but the generator inside is much more secure now than it ever was in the past. So we're pretty sure this place is going to hold up, definitely. Now, some of the other properties do have their own solar panels set up and everything, so they're supplying their own independent power. And between all of this, we're pretty sure even if that generator was to go out, if everybody were to turn off all their lights and everything, there'd be plenty of power left over to run as a backup generator to keep the Mirelurk deterrent signal going. So we're pretty confident that that'll all be okay. But, well, that's pretty much the island. I was really impressed. Some of the people that came in had some pretty good ideas of what to do with this place, and we'll kind of see how it goes in the future. Now, we ourselves have been here for a good week, with most of these guys showing up over the past couple of days, but I think it's time for us to move on. These guys say they still have a lot of plans to expand this place, and maybe I'll see that in the future. Well, I'm sure we'll be swinging back by here at some point, but I think it's time to leave. It's been a lot here, so I do want to make a quick swim over to check on Miss Curie, make sure she's doing okay again and that those guys are all right. But there are also quite a few little barges, structures, boats floating around this island that I think what we're going to do is swim out and have a bit of a look. So I'm thinking this one is where we'll start. No, that's the one where we'll finish. We're going to head down here. We're going to start with that one way out over there. We're kind of going to swim all the way around the island. Just going from point to point to point and see what these guys have. Well, guys, I don't think there's anybody on any of these. They all look completely abandoned. But I'm sure we'll be able to find something on there, if not just to satisfy our curiosity. Where was it? Yeah, there's the other boat. But yeah, we've got that over there. That there. Another boat over there. And then a few things going around on that side. So yeah, this looks like our first little stop. Let's just go ahead and hop out to here. Here. Okay, now, yeah, I guess we just go for it. Ooh. All right. Oh. Hello? The radio's still on. I mean, I know that thing runs on a nuclear battery. Could be going forever, but... No, this place is abandoned. Well... I guess I'll just take whatever I can find. Life out here on a raft like this might be pretty bad during storms and stuff, but hey, at least you don't have death claws or raiders all over the place. Just have lots and lots of birds. Let's, oh. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Okay, well, this place was kind of a bust. Not expecting much from the boats, but let's make a dash for the next one. Can we get up? Oh. There we go. Yeah, this thing's listing pretty bad. It's almost looks reasonably intact. I mean, it's not exactly loaded to bear, but doesn't look like it's been torn through all that much. Oh. Looks like... Yeah, I think they've had a few mirelurks, or else these things are washing up during storms and such, but, ooh. Yeah, this place actually does look like it's kind of been ransacked. I'm betting somebody made it out here in a small boat at some point in time. Let's see if I can get onto this barge. There. This is air. Oh, these guys were running a salvage operation? Wow, pulling aircraft parts out of the ocean. Well, I'm sure there are worse ways to earn a living, but yeah, it seems almost like a wasted effort. There are quite a few crashed aircraft on land already. But I guess it kind of makes sense, though, actually, because the ability to move all this metal by water would probably be pretty convenient a way to get it around a cell. But once again, doesn't look like much anything. I never did get up onto the very top, did I? Oh, here we go. Yeah, we're not going to be able to get up there. Nope. I'm going to have to get my jetpack on my power armor or something to have a look up there. I really doubt there's very much actually there. Once again, this whole place seems pretty much like a bust. Kind of makes sense. I mean, there are enough people around with small boats that I imagine these places have been picked clean a long time ago. Okay. Yeah, these are just as bad. Ooh. Maybe this one hasn't been ransacked quite as... Oh. Looks like this boat was in the process of being boarded by law enforcement? Probably Coast Guard. At the time that the bombs fell. Okay, once again, this boat is nothing, so let's have a peek around on some of these police boats that are barely still floating. Kind of worried that my own weight is going to sink these things. Couple of bottles there. Yeah. This one was kind of a bust as well. Well, next stop, once again, pretty long dash to that little guy. I wonder what overturned boats. Yeah, I'm not going to worry about any that are overturned. So I think we're just going to make a dash for that one. Okay. Well, this one looks... Hello? No, it's abandoned as well, but whoever was here was, I guess, a little bit better set up. Not much, really, but... Oh. If he took shelter up here and stayed up here till he died, I'm betting Mirelurks, maybe? Something definitely got on here. that scared him enough for him to go up there and stay till he died. He had a dog with him too, and haven't found any dog skeletons, so Mirelurk's probably got him. That was another section of barge. Huh. Well, I think that is our next stop. Yeah, let's make a dash. Is that? Yeah, this was a much more hastily thrown together hodgepodge. Oh! Ah! Out of the water. Hey, this was a much more hastily thrown together hodgepodge of anything that will float, it looks like. I mean, they just kind of threw whatever raggedy bits of boats and logs and don't even have a roof. Yeah, this was desperate living here. Definitely desperate living. They did have a reasonable amount of food growing, though. I'm quite proud of whoever had this going. This is pretty nice. But once again, completely abandoned. Well, I think that is our final destination. It is the closest one to the sewer treatment plant, so I think that's our final stop. And we're on. Ooh. Yeah, this place has been hit pretty hard by storms and bad weather as well. Yeah, it doesn't look like it's been completely looted, though. Not really anything at all of value here, though. Not really sure what this place is. Not sure if I want to swim down to find out either. It's probably just going to end up being more of nothing, so I'm guessing at this point we just make a run for the plant. Alright, we are back. Everybody seems to be doing okay. Don't see any dead bodies, no shooting. And yeah, still a few of the people around and awake.
We've got some supplies I can offer, if you're interested.
Oh no, actually that's okay. I'm doing quite well. I'm a little hungry and thirsty, but I've actually got that on my own. So, yeah, looks like Miss Curie's doing okay. Got a few new people in from the look of it, which is pretty good. We'll let these guys take care of this place, and yeah. I guess at this point, my next stop is just head back to Good Neighbor. I guess I want to go ahead and let the doc know that Miss Curie is doing okay, and after that I guess I'll just head back to headquarters until I figure out what to do after that. So I guess we'll join back at Good Neighbor.